All right, thank you. The annual Oral Cancer Foundation 5K and run is this weekend at OP Schnabel Park. I will be there. Jessica will be there, and we're going to have a lot of fun. We have a couple of survivors this morning to talk about their story and about this event. Elizabeth Sikon is here, and Tim Dusek. You guys have both survived this.
Yes.
Look wonderful. And Elizabeth, you were stage 4.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? We talked so much about cancers, breast cancer this past weekend with the Komen Walk, but oral cancer doesn't get as much exposure as you would probably like.
Right.
How common is it?
It is actually pretty common. There's 100 new cases diagnosed every day, and there's a person that dies from oral cancer every hour of every day.
Those are startling statistics there, and Tim, that was you at one point.
Yes, it was.
We're happy to say you've survived this and come out on the other end looking pretty good, but in that moment, when you get that diagnosis, can you take us through that and what it is, when it's your mouth, and what is that like?
When you get the cancer diagnosis, a friend of mine described it, who's also a fellow survivor, as everything just goes black in your world. Everything stops. You just kind of lose your sense of consciousness for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It really takes a while for it to sink in, because naturally when you hear the word cancer, you automatically think the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And then it takes a few days and meeting with your doctors, and then you kind of get a little more rational in your thinking.
Unreal. I've heard, just being a sports fan over the years, Elizabeth, oral cancer, you hear like baseball players who chew tobacco or do that kind of stuff, but I know you had said you never smoked or drank before this. This came out of nowhere for you.
Right, yes. I was not a smoker, I was not a drinker, and my tumor, actually they tested it later on for HPV, because that's more common in younger individuals now, and it was even HPV negative, so I was just one of the lucky few that had no risk factors and just ended up having it.
Mm-hmm. I know a little bit about your story, and I don't know how similar it is for the two of you, but just physically what you went through, because didn't they take part of your
Yes.
tissue and stuff? Explain that, what happened?
Okay, so I was stage 4. I was given a 19% chance of survival. I ended up doing 9 weeks of induction chemo to try to shrink the tumor, which it didn't shrink it enough, so we went through 14 hours of a surgery where they took 6 inches of my right fibula bone to replace my jaw. And then they also took the muscle and tissue from my leg, and they rebuilt the base of my tongue and put all that space back in there. And then I went through radiation for about 6 weeks.
So the right side of your jaw right now is the bottom of your fibula bone?
Yes.
Okay. But again, and you look wonderful. Tim, you both brought, I guess, a mask or something, and we'll show it here. It's right behind you. And Elizabeth is on the right, the larger one. Explain what this is, Tim, and how you used this.
The mask was done during radiation. Mine is the one on the left. It basically goes over your face. They do a mold and fit you for it. And then when they do the radiation, mine, and I'm sure Elizabeth's, was every day. Mine was 28 treatments. And you're basically bolted down to the table. They bolt that mask down. It's very unnerving.
And yours, Elizabeth, was larger because you were stage 4?
Stage 4. It was already inside my lymph nodes, so they ended up removing 50 of my lymph nodes, and 10 tested positive for cancer, so they needed a bigger area to radiate. So
wow.
It was quite bigger.
What an emotional time that must have been for you guys. But we're happy to say we're all going to be out there on Saturday. We want to put up the information here. OP Schnabel Park is the place to be. You might have noticed they're wearing burgundy. That's the color for oral cancer. And I'm sure we'll see a lot of that this weekend there. People can still sign up for this?
Yes.
Okay. So there it is, Saturday, 8 to 12, OP Schnabel Park in the 9600 block of Bandera Road. We're hoping for wonderful weather and a lot of people to be out there for that 5K. You can walk it, you can run it. All the registration information, we'll have it at our website at foxsanantonio.com. But again, please, just a round of applause for you two. That's just amazing what you guys have been able to overcome, and we'll see you guys this weekend.
All right, thank you.
Good stuff. Okay.